Namaste. I am happy to welcome you all to the 108th episode of Tapasya. After the successful staging of SDN's Kriya, Bhairavi Venkatesan and Mridula Sivakumar open up about their approach, process, preparation, and performance in the program. Both these girls did a tremendous job performing a self choreographed solo in SDN's Kriya this year and last. Ever since I started teaching, it is always heartwarming to see my girls grow to achieve great heights and flourish, carving a niche for themselves in the beautiful field of art.
Namaste. Kriya. Both of us have done it. Me this year and you last year. It was a very interesting and challenging aspect of our dance career so far. So let's talk about it. How was your beginning for Kriya?
I still vividly remember when ma'am told us about this concept. When we were touring the US in 2024, we had gone to watch a program. And immediately after we came back and we were having dinner, she was discussing with us, saying, we should do something like this for our students too. So, and immediately she asked me, will you be able to do the first edition? I thought it was just a random thought in her head, and I was just taking it lightly. And once we came back to Chennai, she came up with a date. She fixed a date and she told us that April 13th every year is going to be Kriya. April 13th being Mom's birthday. So she said Mridula will be doing the first edition and the topic will be compositions of K. and Dandayudapani Pillai. She said this is the process in which we will go about it. You have to plan the entire margam and discuss with the musicians. The same process you would have gone through, right? We'll obviously collect the source materials of our composers and go through their compositions. She also told me to look at the Sahityam aspects and find something that inspires you, something different which the other people have not done, something different which our choreographies have not, which we have not ventured into, right? So something different. So I went and bought the books, and that's the usual process we all go through. I'm sure you would have done that too.
Very different compared to yours. I feel like as much as you were meticulous about research and everything, I just took everything very, very laid back. I came to know I would be doing the second edition of Kriya around the same time she got to know that she was about to do the first edition. So I had longer time to sit with it and to work on it, but that was
I don't think ma'am gave you the composer.
Yeah, she
didn't give you the topic.
I was in the mindset for a year. I got the topic for the next year, but my proper planning and work and research aspect of the second edition of Kriya, which I did on the compositions of the Tanjore Quartet, happened only 2-3 months prior to my actual show. And the whole process, I feel like the major obstacle that I had from executing whatever that we had to do was my own mental turmoil, one could say. There was a lot of imposter syndrome. There was also the thought of, as you said, you have to do something new, venture into something that is not been explored by us so far, be it in our own version of choreography or the ones that we've already performed and learned. That aspect was there, but I was also very caught up on the fact that I should stay true to our Melatur style, stick to the way that we do it at SDN, but also add
Your flavor.
Bhairavi flavor to it. So that itself kept me in a loop of unsureness about my work. So my research when it went into it was mostly reliant on external sources. Like I was asking Shrikant sir, Chitrambari ma'am. I had my sources from people rather than from texts available. So I feel like that was where we differed in the research aspect of our Kriya.
Even though I started like in immediately after ma'am told me, right? Maybe in November, but of course the musicians are busy throughout December, so I couldn't get hold of Shrikant sir or Guru Anna to discuss which item to do or whatever. So I had to wait till the season got over till January, and immediately in February I had to perform my solo for Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
You had a whole lineup of
It was mad. And immediately I got a call from Madras Music Academy for the HCL concert series. That was on February. That was like, that was in March. So
March
February 5th. Was Satyam Shivam Sundaram, March was HCL, and April was Kriya. It was hectic. It was a roller coaster. I used to sit and cry because I was not prepared for anything. And
we used to get texts, we used to get calls. She'll finish choreographing a jati, she'll take a video of it, send it to the group chat and ask, "Idu nalla irka? Should I change anything? Is the idea that I put behind it conveyed? Do you know what I'm doing here?" She was very meticulous about her process.
Those 3 months were chaos. Like, it was nothing else other than dance in my mind, because all the 3 shows were very different and very important shows to me. So the process was very hectic, physically and mentally draining. Of course, I used to take videos and see whether the swarams or the rhythm, the nritta aspect itself, right? We're doing so many different pieces. Jati Swaram, you did the Jati Swaram, I did a Jati Swaram. Jati Swaram, Varnam, Tilana. Most of them have nritta aspects. But how to differentiate in that, right? In those different pieces, how to do the nritta differently.
Jam tarita kuntaritai, jana jana kukuntarita, kukuntarita kuntaritai, jam tarita, takkatarita, takkuntarita, kukuntarita, kritakatarikitom, tak kritakatarikitom, takkadiku kritakatarikitom.
And when it came to the Varnam part, I used to connect it with the Swaram. Like what was something similar to what you did, but you did the entire Charanam like that. That was a very brilliant idea, and I was in awe when I saw that for the first time. You want to talk about that?
The Varnam second half, where I decided to take the route of going into doing the swarams in Sanchari type of way, was something that occurred to me by accident actually. So I was till the first half of the Varnam, it was a fairly straightforward process. You do the Sahityam, then you do the Jati, and so on. But when it came to the swarams in the second half, I sort of hit a wall. It was sort of like a burnout phase for me, because whatever nritta that I tried to choreograph for the second half of the Varnam, as you said, because we do a Tilana, we do a Jatishwaram, there's so much nritta going into that Margam that I sort of felt like I was becoming repetitive with what I was doing. That's one thing about choreography. This Kriya was my proper full-fledged
First time, right.
entry into the world of choreography. Otherwise, we would have done
One or two small
pieces here and there. But a full-fledged choreographic attempt was in Kriya for me, and my reference to choreography or watching someone choreograph is Sheela Perima, of course. And for her, like a choreographic session, you know, she'll be sitting here, there'll be someone dancing. She'll think like this.
It'll mostly
she'll
be
close her eyes, she'll do
telepathy.
something like this. In the mari kai podu. Okay. And it's a verbal thing and it'll just happen in a very flow state. And naturally, I thought that's all there was to choreography. You listen to the song 2-3 times, it'll come and it'll work out. But it was definitely not the case. And I guess that was like a huge moment of reality for me when I had to sit down to do it. So so the second half of the Varnam was very repetitive to me when I choreographed it as Nritta for the Swarams. And then I was reading a book by Devdutt Patnaik purely for entertainment. It wasn't as part of like research or anything. I was just like before bed I was reading something, and then I saw that the line he had written something about Manmada's bowstring being bees, and I immediately connected it to the sahityam of my Varnam Charanam, and I realized why not we make the entire second half sort of 1v1 battle versus Manmada and the Nayika. Anyways, there is the character of the Nayika, there is the character of the Sakhi whom she's imploring to go and bring her lord. The lord is sort of a faraway figure who is somewhere there, sort of implied character. But I wanted to bring in the third character of Manmada since he's such a prominent part of the lyrics in the second half.
மலர்வானமென் இதயம் தனில் விடுவதனா மலர்வானமென் இதயம் தனில் விடுவதனால் எனது மடந்தையே இனி சகியன் மலர்வானமென் இதயம் தனில் விடுவதனால் எனது மடந்தையே இனி சகியன் மலர்வானமென் இதயம் தனில் விடுவதனால் எனது மடந்தையே இனி சகியன் பா.
From the moment I got the idea of doing it as a Sanchari, it sort of came more easily.
I remember one day I went to Guru Anna's house to work on the jatis and the Kanaka aspect and all that. And there was all the jatis which I took were Sirs, K&D Sirs jatis. And we just did some small tweaks here and there. So one jati, Anna said, let's do Tisram and Chaturashram mix. So first half will be Tisram, second half will be Chaturashram. So it will be a mix of Tisram and Chaturashram. So that jati leads to the sahityam of Ardhanarishwara. So Padi Udalil Pennai Marittirpan. So that immediately I was like drawn to this concept of why not use Tisram for Shiva and Chaturashram for Parvati. That was something different, and I was like, wow, இப்படிலாம் யோசிக்க முடியுமா நம்மளால. Okay, something different I wanted to do, and that came out really well.
தள்ளம் குத்தக்க திக்கு தக்கத்த திங்கின தொம் தரி ததண தண தண தஜுணு ஜுணு தரி ததண தண தண தஜுணு ஜுணு ஜுணு ததிமி திமி தாம் தரி தத்தாம் தண தத்தாம் தரி தத்தாம் தண தத்தாம் ஜுணு தரி ததண தண தண தஜுணு ஜுணு தரி ததண தண தண தஜுணு ஜுணு ஜுணு ததிமி திமி தாம் தரி தத்தாம் தண தத்தாம் தரி தத்தாம் தண தத்தாம் ஜுணு தரி ததண தண தா தஜம் தஜம் ஜொண்ணு தக்கிட்ட தண தஜொண்ணு ஜொண்ணு தெய் தஜம் தஜம் ஜொண்ணு தக்கிட்ட தரி ததண தஜம் தஜம் தண தஜொண்ணு தஜம் தஜம் ஜொண்ணு ததிமி தஜம் தஜ திமி தக்கிட்ட தஜம் தஜ தரி ததண தா தண தஜொண்ணு தெய் ஜொண்ணு ಜೊಣು ತದಿಮಿತ ದಿಮಿತ ಕಿಟ ತೈ ತತ್ತರಿ ತತ್ತಣ ತಜ್ಜೊಣು ತದ್ದಿಮಿ ತರಿ ತದಣ ತಣ ತಜೊಣು ಜೊಣು ತದಿಮಿ ದಿಮಿ ಕಿಟ್ಟ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತತ್ತರಿ ತತ್ತಣ ತಜ್ಜೊಣು ತದ್ದಿಮಿ ತರಿ ತದಣ ತಣ ತಜೊಣು ಜೊಣು ತದಿಮಿ ದಿಮಿ ಕಿಟ್ಟ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತತ್ತರಿ ತತ್ತಣ ತಜ್ಜೊಣು ತದ್ದಿಮಿ ತರಿ ತದಣ ತಣ ತಜೊಣು ಜೊಣು ತದಿಮಿ ದಿಮಿ ಕಿಟ್ಟ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ಕಿಡತೊಂ ತಕತರಿ ಕಿಡತೊಂ
And that was appreciated by many people as well.
For me, when it came to a part of the choreography that I enjoyed myself, there was, of course, the second half of the Varnam
That was
was
very good.
one of my favorites.
And I really liked your Neelambari oda first part.
Amba Neelambari was the first item that I choreographed for Kriya, and I was actually happy, thankful, and what to say. It was another different, because usually people start off with a vibrant Pushpanjali or a Nritta based piece, but Shrikant sir suggested that I take up Amba Neelambari as my opening piece, and it was a wonderful choice. It was a very calming piece that I could have started with. It set the tone for me mentally also while choreographing, and it wasn't very overwhelming to like just step into it like that. Amba Neelambari was a favorite. The Jatiswaram also I enjoyed very much, because it was a very unique Jatiswaram in Sankirna Nadayadi Talam. A talam that I hadn't realized there would be pieces for us to perform in, and that was a very funny process, because Sheela Perima had sent reference audios saying, if this is the piece that you want to do, maybe use this as your reference audio to choreograph. And the reference audio just had the Pallavi alone, repeated a number of times, and somehow in my brain it just registered that that's all there is to the Jatiswaram. It was a very dumb mistake on my part. And then when we saw the book on the compositions, we realized there is obviously a lot more to the Jatiswaram. And it was you're used to working in Mishra Chapu or Adi or
Mostly
Rupakam, yeah, something like that. But this talam was very different, and Guru Anna had composed rhythmic patterns, like the Jati Korves were in very simple but very enjoyable patterns, and working on the Jatiswaram was a wonderful experience for me. And as you know, there were changes in the Jatiswaram till the day before the program, and the Nada going back was a last minute addition to the Jatiswaram.
I still remember how you called me. She video called me just the evening before the show, and she's like, this is what I'm going to do. Be prepared. ஒரு ஆவர்த்தனம்க்கு இது ஃபுல்லாக பண்ண போகிறேன், பின்னாடி கால் எடுத்து. That was so beautiful on stage, right? Nobody knew what you were going to do, but that just set that Sankirna Nadai more properly, and that was really clean.
Your Tilana was the highlight for me in your Kriya. அந்த மாதிரி ஃபாஸ்டா
வாட்ச் த வீடியோ மேன். அவ பண்ணிருக்கா. Shrikant sir suggested that Tilana, where K&D sir had composed for a movie, Chori Chori. It's a Hindi movie. And once I saw, ma'am sent the link, and I saw the video. Oh my god, the Tilana, the pace of the Tilana was so fast. And live la kandipa we couldn't have done in that speed. We tried to match the speed, and the way she would have done this movements, no, it was all abde spick and span and to the point, like to the beat. It was so crisp, all her movements were.
Gamada maga sagama gasa sagamada ni sada saga sani da ni da mada ni saga sagama gasa da ni saga sani da mani da maga gasa gamada gamada maga sagamada ni sani da mada saga 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 sani ni sani da ni da ni sani da ni da ni da gama 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 ni sani
The vibrancy of that song, to end a Margam with that vibrancy was something I really wanted to do, right? There is no Sahityam in that Tilana at all. It is only Pallavi, Anupallavi and 3 Swarams, right? Ragamalikaala Swaram Swaram. அதில் வந்து ஒரு ஸ்வரமில் சா பா சா அப்படின்னு வரும். அதில் சூப்பராக கொரியோகிராஃப் பண்ணிப்பார். சா ஸ்டாண்டிங், pa and Aramandi and Kirsa and the sa pa sa. That was so beautifully done, and I didn't want to miss that. So I stole that from that piece and I put it in my choreography.
Speaking of drawing inspiration like that, another person who was a main source of inspiration, information and encouragement also for my Kriya was Nartaki Nataraj ma'am. We went to her house, visited her and spoke to her about the pieces that I had chosen and the ones that I was going to perform, and she was very helpful. She helped us out. She helped me with getting the meaning for the Javali that I did and for the lyrics of the Varnam. The jatis that I did in the Varnam were also the traditional jatis that are available for the Varnam. And the choreography itself, especially the Tirmanam of the second jati, was I saw Nartaki ma'am do that in our Triple S. I saw her do it when I heard the jati. Immediate decision was to do it exactly the way that she did it.
Tatadi 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 takatadi kitatum tatadi 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 takatadi kitatum tatadi takat tatadi takat tatadi takatadi kitatum
Abhinaya, your Javali. I've seen you do similar shades of Naika multiple times, right? Nee Maatale, similar to what you did. How did you approach this? In what kind of what was the thought process behind this? Because it's the same, very similar flavor for the Naika. What was something different you wanted to do in this?
முட்டவதுரா மோகனாங்க நன்னி போடு முட்டவதுரா மோகனாங்க நன்னி போடு முட்டவதுரா மோகனாங்க நன்னி போடு முட்டவதுரா ముట్టవెత్తురా మోహనాగా నన్నిప్పుడు ముట్టవెత్తురా.
The thought process or the driving force behind the execution of the Javali was to not be like Neematale. Even though the Nayika was the same flavor of Nayika, I really tried my best to separate her from Neematale's Nayika.
Which is very challenging because it's kind of the same flavor, same Varadev, Kalmipo.
Exactly. But I felt like this Nayika was a little bit more brazen towards her Nayaka, and that helped me navigate the choreography. Another really important driving force for the Javali was the Nayika of the Varnam is a far cry from the Nayika of the Javali, and that made choreographing a little bit more easier because I could reference the Varnam's Nayika and know what not to do for the Javali. So I mean, I have a lot of fun with pieces like that. So it was a very easy piece to
it seemed very natural and very easy going for you. Like the expressions were just flowing very easily. It was so effortless. You know, your
padam, it was a very, again, a last minute for you, right?
There were two pieces, right? There was one padam which I did about Senthamil, just the history of Tamil and all that, which was so vague.
முத்தமிழ் சோலையிலே முத்தம்மா மூவரை கண்டேனடி. முத்தமிழ் சோலையிலே முத்தம்மா மூவரை கண்டேனடி. அங்கே பத்தியாய் பொலிவில் கையல் கொடைகள் பறந்திட கண்டேனடி. அங்கே பத்தியாய் பொலி வில்கையல் கொடைகள் பறந்திட கண்டேனடி.
Song was about the history of
conceptual.
Tamil.
It wasn't something
very
material.
direct, and it was very different to put that into action. And that was decided only 2 weeks before the program as well. Already tension. Another new piece introduced. So that was quite challenging. And the other padam which I did was very different because we won't know who the Nayaka is at all. We don't even know who came and stood in front of her door. She keeps questioning her Sakhi, whether it was Muruga, whether it was Shiva, whether it was Vishnu.
யாரடி இந்த வாசலில் வந்து ஆர்ப்பாட்டங்கள் செய்தவன் அன்னவனின் ஊரும் பேரும் அறிந்து சொல்லடி எந்தன் சகியை. யாரடி இந்த வாசலில் வந்து ஆர்ப்பாட்டங்கள் செய்தவன் அன்னவனின் ஊரும் பேரும் அறிந்து சொல்லடி எந்தன் சகியை.
The Nayaka doesn't know who the Nayaka is. So that approach was also very different. The concept of the padam was very simple yet different. His words, right, like K&D sir's compositions are very simple. Like the lyrics aspect of it, the sahityam, very simple Tamil, nothing complex.
But very impactful.
Very, very meaningful also. And I liked how you had the options, right? Like to deal with different languages. Tamil, Telugu. In the fullave Tamil da. And it was so simple. It was not the Thuya Tamil also. Because he's a very contemporary composer. So it was very easy, much easier for me than for you, because you had to deal with multiple languages. And also, I don't think the Telugu one was too local also, right?
Telugu was, I had a little bit of difficulty with the Telugu because when I approached Kishore Mama for help with the Telugu lyrics, he helped me out with the lyrics of Ambani Lambari also. Even he had a bit of it took him some time to navigate through the Telugu language in the composition for the Varnam. Tamil lyrics were fine, like it was pretty doable, and my mother was helpful with understanding the Tamil part of it. But Telugu was a little bit challenging to understand and to give an output for it.
కావిలోనే చాల ప్రేమతో గుడలేన చామ భూపాలు వినా చేత ముట్టవద్దురా మోహనగా నన్నిప్పుడు.
Apart from choreographing or doing the research, you said you had to deal with practicing for your other solos. It was also the time when you were newly married. And what were the other challenges that you faced, especially when we had to use our mornings to choreograph, and then our afternoon and evenings would be gone in dance class, taking class, or having other practices. One of the main challenges that I faced was there were people who were talking about how it might be easy for me because my mother is Shobha ma'am, my aunt is Sheela Perima. So they felt that I would have a very, very easy time navigating to Kriya because the help was right at the door. But that was, I wish that was definitely not the case. And I feel like a lot of external talk really put on a lot of weight on me mentally and emotionally, which became a block. And then it took me some time to come out of it. It took me a lot of late night conversations with Miru, with you, to get out of that mental smoke screen and come out with an output.
తళంగు తదిగిడదు తళంగు తదిగిడదు తగదిగిడదు తళంగు తదిగిడదు తళంగు తదిగిడదు తళంగు తదిగిడదు
Oh my God. And I also had a very, very big pair of shoes to fill in from the first edition of Kriya. So it was a lot of things, but then at the end of the day, I don't think I'd change anything about what actually came out on the day of.
It was such a beautiful first experience, right?
Truly. Truly.
Something our teacher giving us, right?
It's the best thing your teacher could give you.
Exactly.
The freedom of being able to create what
do something
you
of your
wanted to.
own.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was so special, and I'm looking forward actually. This was just a start of our choreographic journey. And I'm actually looking forward to exploring different pieces and hopefully creating more such pieces.
All the best to Sanjana for next year.